One of these 8 cats has fangs like a prehistoric saber-tooth, the longest teeth for its body size of any cat alive today. And here's the strange part. It's not the lion. It's not the tiger. It's not even one of the giants you're picturing right now. It's the very last cat on this list. And once you see how it moves, you'll never look at a house cat the same way again. So stick around. That saber-toothed cat is waiting for you at the very end, and trust me, it's worth it. But to understand why it's so strange, we have to start somewhere else. We start with speed, out on the open plains of Africa, with the fastest thing on 4 legs. It's the cheetah. And it doesn't just run fast, it breaks what we even think fast means. Picture a car at a stoplight. 0 to 60 miles an hour in about 3 seconds. That's a supercar. The cheetah does the same thing. On grass, with no engine, just muscle, bone, and a spine that folds and snaps back like a spring. Out on the savannah, it doesn't chase everything. It waits. Low in the yellow grass, eyes locked on one gazelle at the edge of the herd. Then it detonates. At full sprint, it spends more time in the air than on the ground. Every stride a leap, its paws barely brushing the earth. To the gazelle, it must look like the ground itself is coming apart. But here's the catch. All that speed burns out fast. A cheetah can only hold its top speed for about 30 seconds before its body starts to overheat. So every hunt is a gamble. Win in the first few seconds or lose it all. And even when it wins, the danger isn't over. Lions and hyenas wait nearby, ready to steal the kill the moment the cheetah drops, gasping, too spent to fight back. That's the price of being the fastest. You can outrun anything on Earth except your own body. Fast, fragile, and always running out of time. So that's the fastest cat across flat ground. But what about the fastest cat going straight up a cliff? Meet the snow leopard. High in the mountains of Central Asia, 3,000 meters up, where the air is thin and the cold cuts, this cat turns sheer rock into a running track. And it jumps, not a little hop. In a single leap, a snow leopard can clear around 50 feet. That's nearly half a basketball court, sailing through thin mountain air, roughly 6 times the length of its own body. Watch one hunt, and it barely looks real. It drops down a near vertical slope after a wild sheep, and mid-fall, it steers, swinging that thick meter-long tail like a rudder to change direction in the air before landing square on its target. And then, it's gone. The snow leopard is so pale, so quiet, so perfectly matched to the gray rock that the people who share its mountains gave it a name that stuck: the ghost of the mountains. Some researchers spend years in the field and never see one with their own eyes. It covers over 25 miles a day across some of the harshest ground on the planet, and almost no one ever watches it happen. Silent, silver, and almost never seen. That leap was long, a blur straight across the mountainside. But this next cat does something almost stranger. It jumps up, the mountain lion, and it holds a record you'd expect from a machine, not a cat. From a standing start, it can launch itself close to 18 feet straight into the air, and some have cleared even more. That's like leaping onto the roof of a 2-story house, flat-footed, without a single running step. It stalks deer through pine forest, moving like smoke, then closes the gap in one silent burst before the deer even turns its head. But the oddest thing about this cat isn't how it moves. It's what we call it. The mountain lion goes by more than 40 names in English alone: cougar, puma, panther, catamount, more names than almost any animal on Earth. And there's a reason. It's everywhere. Its range runs from the Yukon in Canada all the way down to the tip of South America, making it the most widespread wild land mammal in the entire Western Hemisphere. Every region met it. Every region named it something new. And for all that power, it can't roar. It chirps. A high bird-like call that sounds nothing like the killer behind it. Nameless, silent, and everywhere at once. This next cat looks almost gentle. A shadow with spots. You could pass within 30 feet of one and never know it's there. And that is exactly the problem. The leopard. Pound for pound, it may be the strongest cat alive. Here's the proof. A leopard can haul prey up to 3 times its own body weight straight up a tree. Picture climbing a ladder with a full-size refrigerator clamped in your jaws. For a leopard, that's just dinner. And it does this for a reason. On the savannah, a fresh kill rings like a dinner bell. The moment a leopard drops an impala, hyenas start to circle, pulled in by the smell of blood. So the leopard doesn't linger. It drags the whole carcass, sometimes as heavy as itself, up into the branches, out of reach, then feeds in peace while the hyenas pace uselessly below. That's what makes it the ultimate survivor. The most adaptable big cat on the planet. At home in African bush, Asian jungle, even the edges of crowded cities, living beside millions of people who never once see it. Quiet, powerful, and impossibly patient. This next cat can bite clean through a skull the way you'd bite through an apple. It's not the lion. It's not the tiger. In fact, it's smaller than both of them, and it hits harder than either. The jaguar. Deep in the Amazon rainforest lives the cat with the strongest bite of any big cat on Earth, pound for pound. Around 1,500 pounds of pressure per square inch, enough to crack a turtle's shell like a walnut, and enough to drive straight through solid bone. And that one fact changes everything about how it kills. Lions, tigers, leopards, they all go for the throat, choking their prey. The jaguar doesn't bother. It bites directly through the skull, into the brain. One bite, instant. There's no struggle, because there's no time for one. It's also the rare big cat that loves water. While most cats keep well clear of a river, the jaguar hunts in it, gliding silently through the shallows to drag a caiman, a 5-foot armored crocodile, right off the bank. Nothing in that jungle is safe. Not on land, not in the trees, not in the water. To the ancient Maya and Aztec, this cat was a god. The night itself, given claws. Stand face to face with one, and you'd understand exactly why. Compact, unstoppable, and built to crush. If your jaw is on the floor right now, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Because we're only getting bigger from here. The biggest cat on Earth is coming up next. And the strangest one of all, that saber-toothed ghost I promised you at the very start, is still waiting at the very end. So far, every cat on this list has been a silent killer. Speed, stealth, a bite you never hear coming. This next one is the exact opposite. It wants to be heard. The lion. Its roar hits around 114 decibels, as loud as standing next to a running chainsaw. And it carries as far as 5 miles across the savannah. That's a sound you could hear from one side of a small city to the other. When a lion roars in the dark, every animal for miles knows exactly who owns the night. But the roar isn't the strangest part. The lion is the only truly social cat on the planet. Every other cat here hunts alone. Lions live in prides, families that hunt together, raise cubs together, defend their ground together. The females do most of the hunting, fanning out across the grass in a coordinated ambush, driving a herd toward the ones lying in wait. One antelope hesitates, and the trap closes. That teamwork is the whole secret. A single lion is powerful. A pride is unstoppable. It's why we've called them kings for thousands of years. Not because they're the biggest cat, but because they're the only ones who rule together. Loud, social, and born to rule. The lion rules with a pride behind it. This next cat needs no one. The tiger, the largest cat that has ever lived. A Siberian tiger, the biggest of them all, can weigh up to 660 pounds and stretch more than 10 feet from nose to tail. That's heavier than a grown man and a motorcycle combined, folded into one silent predator that moves through the snow without a whisper. And silence is the whole point. A tiger hunts completely alone, slipping through the forests of the Russian Far East, its striped coat melting into shadow and dead grass. It creeps within a few yards of its prey before it's ever noticed. Then, one explosive rush from behind, one bite to the back of the neck, and it's over. Unlike lions, tigers love the water. They'll swim across wide rivers and cool off in lakes on hot days. But here's the heartbreak. This perfect predator almost vanished. Not long ago, the Siberian tiger was hunted down to just a few dozen left in the wild. This giant, nearly wiped off the map, not by any rival in nature, but by us. Today, slowly, it's clawing its way back, massive, silent, and utterly alone. And now, the one you've been waiting for. Remember the very first thing I told you? A cat with fangs like a prehistoric saber-tooth. Not the lion, not the tiger. Here it finally is, the clouded leopard. It isn't big. It weighs about as much as a medium-sized dog, the kind of animal you'd walk right past. But open its mouth, and you're staring into the past. Relative to its body size, the clouded leopard has the longest canine teeth of any cat alive today. Its fangs reach around 2 inches, nearly the length of a tiger's, on a cat a fraction of the size. Scientists literally call it the modern-day saber-tooth. It's the closest thing we have left to the Ice Age hunters that vanished thousands of years ago. And then there's how it moves. The clouded leopard has ankles that rotate backward, a joint almost no other cat has. So it can climb straight down a tree head first, like a squirrel. It can hang from a branch by its back feet, front paws free to strike. It can even creep upside down beneath a limb. In the cloud forests of Southeast Asia, it hunts from a world above our heads, in a way that shouldn't even be possible for a cat. And there may be only 8,000 to 10,000 of them left, hidden in some of Earth's least explored forests. So the strangest cat on this entire list is also the one we understand the least. Ancient, hidden, and armed like a ghost from the Ice Age. So, 8 cats, from the fastest to the strangest. Which one stuck with you? Drop its number in the comments. I've got a feeling a lot of you are going with number 5, the Jaguar. But prove me wrong. And if your favorite didn't make the cut, tell me which one I missed. I read every single comment. Nature never promised these cats would play fair. It built them to win. Every last one. See you in the next one.